Yo, welcome in. Let's go. Hello everyone, how are you guys doing today? Today we're going to make a tier list. Let me actually change the music real quick. I don't know. Is the music good? As in volume wise, of course. I know some people have different preferences for music choice, but we'll see. Milan joined the Discord. Yeah, I don't know, man, if that's allowed, honestly. Like, you have to be 13 plus, according to Discord TOS, so, yeah. I know that you're only using it. Well, I know. I'd assume you only use it for the hyperhood. You know, as long as you behave mature, we can see it through the fingers, I guess, for now. Audio is clear, that's good. Hello, Werewolf Noob, welcome in. Alright, let me switch scenes to the protectors. There you go. Hello, welcome in. Here I am. Oh man, my hair is a bit in the way sometimes. It's really growing now. Hello, Cole. Hello, Frain Toldi, Milan, Werewolf Noob, Ira or Ari, Midnight Star. I think there was a few more. Dama is also here, I think. Maybe lurking. And Demigod Butter I saw. Snowkit and at the very like pre-stream Turk Koglu and Ahmed ID. Today we're gonna make a tier list based off strength. We're gonna rank the protectors. And I'm curious to see, you guys are gonna decide where we rank everything. There's gonna be 13 of them, so 3 roles will be in the not top 10 tier again. And the others will be S to C. So let's see where we are gonna start. But anyway, Hypo, you know the Freestyle Friday contest. I don't know what that is, no. Goes to the S tier, you think? Well, we can start with, we can start with the Ghost Lady. So how we go about this usually is, you guys in the chat say what you think of the Ghost Lady, how strong it is. We can always change it later, of course, when you discover like stronger or weaker roles, for example. And you guys get to pick where we put this. If I get an indication, okay, you're gonna have to have it in the higher tiers, I will make a poll based off S, A, and B, and then if you think it's like weak, I will make it B, C, and not top 10, something like that. That's how we go about this usually. Every Friday on 5 PM set. Aha. I don't know what it is though. Goes in tier. You think Ghost Lady is S tier? She's protecting herself and the player. Yes. I'd say A for Ghost Lady. You can play around it. Plus delay the death if they figure out who was protected by specifically Ghost. Yeah. Why do you think Ghost Lady is unfair if you were a werewolf? Mega Donker. Okay, this tea is quite strong. I definitely need to get the tea bag out of that real quick. But you guys think the Ghost Lady is actually S tier material? Like, I'm genuinely curious because we have like some very strong roles going in this list. So the protectors are like, they seem like they're not important, but if you look at how strong some of these get, it's ridiculous. Okay, I will make a poll right now. I already see like there's nobody arguing for a very low tier for the Ghost Lady. A. Let's do S, A, B, and C. If there's anyone crazy gonna come out for the C tier. She can prove herself. Yeah, if you protect someone successfully, I guess. It's like easier to prove than, let's say, Doctor, but there's still some roles that are like easier to prove, I would say. Looking at Dogsmith in particular. You and me can host a tournament on the site where you make events. I don't know if I will do that. It's not like, it doesn't sound related to Wolvesville at all, honestly. TJ is unfair for killers like SK, Kenny, and Evil. Yeah, and TG But TG is coming later. Okay, it definitely looks like you guys are pretty common on the consensus of being on A tier. Okay, that's actually... well, fair. We'll put the Ghostly in the A tier. And I will lock it for now, but we can change it later, of course. Let's move on to the Forger now. Alright, Forger opinions in the chat. Any Forger defenders? How strong is the Forger, really? As a protector, foremost. Well, like other abilities, the sword also count, of course, but... you didn't click on the B. Ghostly and Tough are B terms, soul protection, but good for utility. Yeah, like, the one thing I was also thinking about... how should we go about this? I think, like, we are ranking roles that have protection abilities, but we rank the roles as a whole. So it's not like just soul protection. It's like if they have like strong side abilities that make this, then that role can definitely be elevated by that. But in the end, I would say like it's also up to you how you guys wanna rate the role. Forger is recruit or couple. Yeah, that's definitely true. If he's recruited or coupled, he will be useful because you can just easily give it to like instigator or your coupled player, and then like that's an easy target at that point. Otherwise, it's a kind of like a slow but permanent protection for someone. Forger is a B, Forger A or B. You guys think the Forger is a bit weaker than the Ghost Lady. Having a kill here makes it AB. Yeah, but I would say the protection itself, okay, it's not like the strongest thing ever, but I would say like the fact that it's permanent and the Forger doesn't need to live for the protection to be there, is pretty strong as well. We do count the sword as well. We do count the sword and BZ. That's why I was also thinking towards the A tier. That's much like how the Ghost Lady... For the Ghost Lady we also count the fact that she gets revealed to whoever she protects. So... but that also gets countered by the fact that you will both die when that player gets attacked, for example. So... slow. The Forger is slow. The boring equation, boring is not really something we take in equation here, I would say, because that doesn't really matter for strength. That's just like, yeah, fun. the fun, if you want to consider fun, but that's not something we are doing on this tier list right now. Alright, I'm gonna make the poll now. It doesn't seem like there's really anyone arguing for the not top 10 spot for the Forger. So I will just include S, A, B, and C there. Okay, maybe. Nah, actually, I was thinking of like putting. I was thinking of putting it like A, but then below Ghost Lady, or A above Ghost Lady, but I think like that's kind of weird to do. Maybe we can make a second poll like right after this to immediately place its to immediately decide where it's gonna be relative to Ghost Lady. But yeah, but that's gonna be like really complicated at some point when you have like 4 roles where it could be like in between. I don't think Forger is prot. I would say Forger is prot. It's like a bit atypical. It's much like, well, some people, like I would say Darius, for example. If Darius is here, I think Darius could also argue that something like Bellringer, Sheriff, and Preacher might be protective too, because they are like pseudo protectors and they can like, okay, I'm going to check X and Y player. And if you kill them, the consequence will be that I have info, for example. You know, that's like pseudo protection. You could count that as protection, I guess. That's like a mind game type of protection, but it's not like an actual physical protection ability. So I just count all the physical protection abilities, but then all abilities that come along with it, they are also something that we need to consider, because if we don't, it's actually well, we could consider it like just only the physical protection, but if we don't, it could be a bit boring to rank them, because honestly we get like, it's a pretty objective list at some point. Like, yeah, then okay, the Night Watchman is definitely gonna be below Butcher, because it like has 3 protections versus Butcher 6. So that just kind of kills the debate part of this. That's why we also do include the ability, other ability, the utility, as you guys call it in the chat. I'm not gonna join the Bughouse tournament. No, sorry. Yeah. Richard, you were gonna ask that, because I think like pseudo protection, it's like you could consider that protection, but also it doesn't have physical protection. You know, it's like mind game protection. At that point, like, okay, yeah, it's a bit more straightforward than, let's say, Avenger claiming Sheriff and then that counting that as pseudo protection. You know, that's kind of what I mean with that. Like, you could, like, that's almost a strategy you could say, like, hey, I'm Avenger, I'm claiming Sheriff, and then hey, I'm a pseudo protector now. You could play pseudo protector as Avenger, but just a bit weird. But I would say, like, we could make a separate tier list at some point, not this stream, in which we just rank pseudo protections. Maybe I will do like some sort of random support type of tier list as well. And yeah, there are gonna be like roles that will feature across multiple tier lists, because let's say the whole witch tree, for example, they will also be on the village killing tree, like tier list for sure. Jailer was also something I could have considered. Same as for Warden. Jailer and Warden. Okay, Jailer and Warden. Maybe Jailer and Warden. I will just put them right here, because Jailer and Warden are actually roles that we do need to consider as protectors. Like, they are genuinely used as protectors as well. Like, not by most people, but definitely by me, for example. And like I think a lot of when the meta was really protecting the gunner as Jailer, where like pre-Berserk era, then that time the Jailer was literally protector most of the game. So I do think that you have a fair point there, Ritualist. I will include the Jailer and the Warden on this tier list. Then I'm gonna check as well what the result is for the Forger. Okay, they're gonna be a bit big, but we can easily change that. Oh, squeezed. In that case, though, we're gonna have 5 rolls on the bottom tier. But that's fine. Now you're gonna eat veggies and potatoes. Enjoy your meal, Milan. Yeah, Jailer and Warden have multiple claws. I think that's like the interesting part of those. However, Jailer and Warden, I would like, if we make a role block tier list, I don't know if we do that, then I would include them, but I won't include them for, I did not include them in the seer type of tier list. That's like kind of a stretch if you're talking about raw ability. So, okay, Forger, what do you guys think? It's gonna be a B tier. Okay, B tier for Forger as protector. That's kind of surprising to me, because it has a kill ability, but yeah, because you can also count that along there, but yeah. Alright, let's go to one I think like is gonna be on the bottom part of things, all things considered. The Doctor. Like, I'm not gonna steer too much, but like, if we look at all these other rules, I think, yeah, I want to know where you guys would say this, but do keep in mind we're gonna have 5 roles in the end in the not top 10 tier, and I think this is like gonna be a candidate for it, because not only is it quite vulnerable, not only is Butcher like yeah, technically like not really, but okay, practically it's like a straight upgrade from the Doctor. Also, Night Watchman I would say is usually quite just the upgrade from Doctor. But also it cannot protect itself. It has like no utility apart from protecting. So Doctor is on. Yeah, I would say agree with Mega Donker. It's one of the most balanced roles for sure. Like it's like we don't need to buff the Doctor. We need to nerf Butcher and Night Watchman if we want to balance that tree, basically. Doctor is like one of the core roles that I've like has like really good balancing, but it's just like yeah, when it comes to strength, it's not gonna hold up here really well. I don't know why evil target Doctor. I think evil should fake Doctor. Yeah, I agree, but I don't know. Like it depends on what kind of evils you're playing with, honestly. Doctor, actually, I didn't know that Doctor in Wolvesville Classic could protect herself. It's not the biggest issue though. Like you can always pretend to be something different. Like how often have you seen me do like bodyguard / Doctor swaps? Hello Daniela, how much will stream last? We'll just go till the tier list is over. I figure it's gonna be like 2 hours. Okay, so I would say I don't know, like I don't think we need to include an S tier on this tier list because yeah, that would be crazy, honestly. Let's include the not top 10 here. Like eventually we'll just move down the bottom 5 to the not top 10. I'm curious, like if we're gonna see like most votes for the not top 10 here. But you guys think it's a B tier or a bottom B tier? Like if you compare it with Forger, I would say it's much more flexible than Forger. Both cannot protect self, so that's also like equal ground there. It has more protections. Forger has the advantage though of first of all being self-provable, I guess, because you can like just say like, hey, this player has shield and they can, or sword, they can prove that I'm Forger. And then secondly, Forger shields and swords last also if the Forger dies, and third of all, it has sword so it can kill. It adds like a whole kill. So that's why I think it's kind of crazy if we would put them on the same tier. But if you guys would say B tier is fair for the Doctor, then we will do that. But yeah, to be fair, the flexibility is definitely a big part of it. Hello Stepocam. Wow, Milan actually knows that better than me. That you're the Winter Wolf creator. I saw you in the comments recently though, Stepocam. Doctor is not bad, but it's not OP. Yeah, true. Okay, it does seem like we actually really have like a B tier here going on. Interesting. I'm so curious where this is gonna go to then. Alright, let me lock Forger and Doctor so I can't really touch them by accident. Alright. Let's go to one of the roles that I just added based off Ritualist's suggestion. We're going to the Warden now. And the Warden! Wow, this one. Okay, I wonder what this is gonna bring, because keep in mind it's more than protection, of course. Like if you keep in mind, like if you just look at how good is it at protecting, well, it's hella good, but you cannot like protect the same player twice in a row, and it also roll blocks them, so there's definitely cons to the protecting. But yeah, we also have the chat function, we have the roll block function, we have the killing function, so And also, I guess the backfiring function. Warden is straight up S, one of the strongest roles in game. We count all kill party or solely protective part. We count all the part. We count the whole thing. Because otherwise we would just rank like how strong is the protecting. And there's like an objective list for that. Well, like objective for like if we look at interactions literally. Like of course there's also some roles are less or more flexible than others. That would be the subjective part there. But there's like an objective list of like, okay, the warden can protect against like everything almost, and the doctor like has quite a few roles that can bypass it. So we count all the abilities, and that's why I think this is gonna be like one of the easiest S tier roles. Definitely A tier, but I'm curious to see. Like I'm not gonna like just assume you guys are gonna put an S tier. You cannot protect the same player. True. Yeah, that's true. Alright, Warden. I will include like 4 options, but honestly I think this is gonna be majority on the S tier. You were teacher's favorite? Wow, that's a nice position, honestly, in school. But it's also like, I don't know, some children don't like the people who are teachers' favorites, so that also might make you like a bully target for some people. The bad thing about Warden is breakout. Yeah, it is the bad thing, but yeah. Or it also kind of depends. Like, I've had situations with breakouts. I would die, but then I know 2 evils, and then you can just tell the medium, and then you expose them, and then it's actually not really that bad. But yeah, if the medium is dead, or ritualist, or you don't even have that like now, then you have a problem as Warden. Or if the breakout makes it so that the werewolves can kill like 1 more player and then win automatically, like if it's the end game, then the breakout is a big problem. So yeah, breakout is like a 50-50 mechanic for me. I like the mechanic, but it's like, sometimes it works in its favor and sometimes it heavily works against the Warden. No, Milan, I didn't suggest you were a bully. I just suggest that I think like usually teachers' favorites are like the victims of bullying, but maybe that's not true. Like maybe you don't get bullied. I hope you don't, at least. Hello, Midnight Star, welcome in. All right, we go and see the S tier for the Warden. All right, let's put it in here, and then we can go to the next one. Let's do the Astronomer. Oh, Astronomer. Ay, ay, ay. Let's see, where do we put the Astronomer? You do get bullied sometimes, apparently. So, that's what I thought. Like, Astronomer F? Like balance-wise, yeah, but like, we're just talking about strength. We're not talking about balance here. Like, I don't like Astro either. It's a trash roll, but like, we have to stay serious here. I have to admit, it's like, when it comes to strength, protection is insane. You like guarantee no werewolf attacks. It doesn't do anything against solos though, and there's like pretty much all the rules here can protect against solos. Well, apart from Arsonistry, I suppose, but pretty much all the rules can protect against solos, but not the Astro. But we also have the Meteor mechanic, which is also just a bullet, so Like, if it comes to strength, I think this would be an A for me, but I don't know. It's a free bullet and another bullet. Yeah. Nah, it's not really 2 bullets because, yeah, you don't have like a werewolf kill, so you could equal that to like, okay, we have 1 more action as village. But I would say like getting an extra voting phase out of it and like getting an actual bullet out of it, that's like different because bullets can be used like any time of the day, and foremost they're better at clearing stuff up before a voting phase, and you can kill the fool with it, for example. So I would not say that the fact that Astro can protect against werewolves for 1 night equals to 1 bullet, because bullet is like stronger than an actual voting phase. I would say an extra voting phase, I should say. It's too strong, yeah. So, but then, I don't know, that suggests if it's too strong, it's probably on the S tier, right? Because we are just ranking based off strength here. So, if a roll is weak, probably balanced, then it's like gonna be in the bottom of this tier list, because then it's weak. And if it's like too OP, it's gonna probably be in the S tier or in the A tier. If there's 2 Astros, it's basically Old Butcher, which I hate the most. Yeah, Old Butcher was terrible. Oh my god, that's like such a bad roll. I'm happy that they removed that, because that was like atrocious. Yeah, it's also very confirmable, yeah. Alright. Alright, let's go and make a poll. So yeah, do keep in mind, chat, this is about strength. The stronger the roll, the higher it is. It's not about balance. We don't... I care about balance, but not in this tier list, basically. Yeah, I also like the old Astro mechanic. Like, the thing blocking the entire lobby, it sounds toxic, but actually it's really tactical, because you need to make a situation or you need to be able to see a situation in which that is actually more useful when you get more out of like protecting than roll blocking. Because a lot of times you wanna not use that because you need like info, or you need some sort of action to happen at night to gain a bit as a village. But sometimes you have like, okay, you have like 2 or 3 evil targets that you can just lynch, and then using the new moon is fine, because you don't need extra info yet. You can just buy an extra voting phase with it. Then it's a tactical usage. So that's why I like the old Astro quite a lot. Like, of course, it should not announce it. Although it's kind of weird, because if you would announce it... If you wouldn't announce it, like, people are gonna figure it out anyways. But yeah. Quick question, asking strength-wise, do you consider the maximum potential of this role? Yeah, but also like how realistic it is, because I think we've had this debate in the past as well with the solo killers. Like, if you look at maximum potential of Arsonist, for example, you have like, wow, okay, this role could like kill 8 players by night 5, just unprotected. That's like half the game. You could kill like 8 players, but how realistic is it gonna be that you're gonna kill the 8 perfect players at that point, that none of them died, and that you survived all the way? Like, it's kind of like maximum potential, but also realism to the role. And if a role has like a very crazy potential, but it's really hard to reach it, yeah, you have to counter that. You have to count it in as well. But some roles have like crazy potential and it's very easy, well then it's really strong. You can join every qualifier from now. I don't wanna join the Bughouse tournament, Milan, sorry. Alright. So I see that Astro is gonna be in the A tier. Interesting. Alright, Astro on A tier. Alright, let's go to... Okay, let's get this one out of the way. Locksmith. I don't know. If I need to explain what the Locksmith does to you guys, then tell me. Otherwise, let's go and debate about the Locksmith, because this is an unreleased role, the only one on this tier list. And it has a protective function. If Astro in setup werewolf and source, villager will have free night. Yeah. Okay. Locksmith, strength E. Balanced, you don't know. Yeah, okay, so hello Poppy Go Pop. I'm thinking about what the Locksmith did exactly as well. I know that as a Locksmith, you can like select someone. Wait, actually I'm gonna open the game real quick and I will show you. Because I have this role available in custom games. Wolvesville should start up though. Okay, I think it's gonna start now. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna check the role description of the Astro or the Locksmith real quick. Oh, let's see. Locksmith, where are you at? I think someone might have explained it already in chat by now, but if not, I will explain it as well. It's not there? Wait, I can't find it in custom games at the moment. What is that? Have the developers actually removed it? There's no way, right? I think the devs actually removed it from custom games. Even though I'm like Moonlight member and I got like all the other roles. I have the Time Traveler, the Wolf Time Traveler. I have the Spy. I saw the Rainmaker as well. Yeah, I have a Rainmaker, Journalist. That's crazy. They removed it actually. That's interesting. So I cannot show it. What I recall of it though is like you can protect someone, you're like kind of bodyguard, and it was actually quite broken. So if you protect someone, someone sees the lock sign. So that means that they know that they are being protected. And then when the lock broke, aka when you got attacked, when the player got attacked or you got attacked, you could immediately select a player again in the next night and just lock with them again. So essentially, since this was like not balanced, you could infinitely protect someone and they could also see it. But you were like kind of like, yeah, forced to protect a specific player. Your target knows that they were locked, and then if you or your target die, the attack locks, breaks, the protects them. Yeah, so essentially you could like, it's not very flexible, if I remember, but if you stay both protected infinitely, and you can when it breaks, next night you can already lock the same player up with yourself. So essentially, you could make someone and yourself be like unkillable at night, apart from like arsonists and bomber and stuff like that. So really strong, but not very flexible. That's like, that was the Locksmith about. So I would say, I thought this was way too overpowered to be in the game when we tested this on stream. Like, we have to actually test this on stream, so. But yeah, I think, I'm not so sure how the flexibility part of it was. But basically it was like a better bodyguard, if I recall. The making locksmith, I don't think the lock... I recall that the locksmith... the lock making speed is actually the same as like a doctor protection. So you just select someone and you're immediately locked. That's how quick the locksmith was as well. So like I remember like... I don't think I could like protect night 1. But night 2 I would just protect someone and we would already be locked. So it has like the same... It has like it's not like as slow as Beast Hunter, for example. So what Unknown says is probably wrong unless they change it again. But I assume not. I think what Unknown says is how it used to be before they actually changed it again. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not like you can't quote me on it. But what I remember from my stream back then is that it can just immediately select someone, night 2, and then you already locked in. None of you can die, and if you get attacked, the lock breaks, and night 3 you can, like, immediately protect the other again. But you guys think it's kind of low, which is interesting. Hello Marco, welcome in. Alright, I'm going to make a poll, and I don't think anyone is gonna argue that this is on the S tier, so we'll just see for the lower tier. A, B, C, not top 10. Esther is the strongest role in the game. I don't know if it's the strongest role in the game, but it's probably the most like broken role, like the one that needs the fixes the most, especially like given it's an RRV. You know, if the devs buff the witch a bit, then we could, and they moved the witch tree to the RSV, then maybe we could talk, because then it's like okay, it's not like a fun mechanic at all, the astronomer, but then I would say at least it is framed as the right strength of roll. Like at least it's gonna be like similar to Warden, Jailer, Gunner, you know, that stuff. So then it's like probably a bit more fair, but I think they're not gonna do that, honestly. And as an RV, it's hella broken. Why no ferryman? Actually, that's an interesting thing you say. And I completely forgot about the ferryman. So I will also include that one. We have to make a bit more... we have to be a bit more quicker then. But the ferryman is actually a role that also kind of protects. It's kind of more like delaying. But I would say like it has a physical protection ability. So I will include the ferryman. Thanks for... mentioning that A mob. Ferryman cannot be seen by Night Watchman. Interesting. I never knew about that. You know, I will put the locksmith in the not top 10 tier for now. I will see though. Maybe we can check later if I find some footage of like the locksmith, because I know I've streamed with it. Maybe I have some gameplay of it actually. Let me check, because I might have gameplay of the ferryman, of the locksmith. I mean, like I should have that potentially. What about leaked roles? Yeah, I have like. Actually no idea what the watchdog does. I've heard of it, like it has also been announced even in the Discord server, but they actually completely did not test anything at all, which is strange because they announced this like not last update but the update before that. They announced this in May, and actually they said they were gonna test these roles, but they have not been tested since. So kind of strange, yeah. But I'm quickly gonna check if I have anything on locksmith. That's an interesting thing. I do have locksmith footage apparently. Only problem is I probably cannot really find the right time I cannot really go to a certain timestamp if I... Let me see if I get revived here. Yeah, I do. Interesting. I don't know. Maybe I will show it later. You can show. You can tell your role idea, Milan, if you want to. Yeah, so I'm not gonna talk about the leaked roles because I just don't know what they do, and I don't have assets for them either. So let's move on to the next role. Let's start with something from the Beast Hunter role tree now. The Trapper. Let's do the Trapper. What do you guys think of the Trapper? Like, this is a quite interesting one. Like, I genuinely don't know how you guys view this role. High B or low A? Artist role. What's the artist role? Abilities paint, but what does paint do? It's a better BH, that's for sure. Like, there's still people who think, well, not many people, but I sometimes see, like, especially when there's like Trapper nerf ideas in the Discord, I see like stuff replying saying that Trapper is not a stronger Beast Hunter, and there's like people who defend the Trapper as like a balanced version of the Beast Hunter because, yeah, it has risk and it's much slower than the Beast Hunter because you need to set up free traps, but that's just a playstyle choice. It's like Beast Hunter but more playstyles. So it's kind of crazy that people still think that Trapper is like as strong as the Beast Hunter. It's the objectively, like how Cannibal and SK work. It's like objectively better than the base role. But what does invisible mean in Wolvesville, Milan? So you think it's an A tier, Ziniki? Yeah, Marco, I don't know. Some people thought the Astro was not as good, but I thought, like, Astro, one of the roles that I would say is S tier as well. But yeah, we have, like, this playlist is, this tier list is made by the community. So in the end, I decide what, you guys decide where it belongs. Alright, Trapper. I don't know. I don't think anyone's arguing that this has to be not top 10. Trapper goes in S, A, B, or C. Let's see where the Trapper is gonna be. How many roles do we still have? I think quite a bit, yeah. Wow, S tier and A tier are like getting an equal amount of votes here. Trapper is at least high B for sure. Trapper and Beast Hunter is same, but Trapper is better. I think need to change BH or Trapper. Yeah, I would say they probably just need to change the... I would say they change the Trapper. Like, I would like to see like Trapper's killing ability being changed to like another strong ability but not killing. Like, I don't know, revealing is probably a bad idea. I've seen like suggestions for role blocking. Like maybe make it so that the Trapper has like sets up traps quickly, or like you can set up 2 traps each night. Then you can have most 4 traps, and they are all protecting. And if someone triggers them, they will all be removed like normal, and then they get role blocked for 1 or 2 phases. Like it's something that's like works on a greater scale, but has like less of an impact on the attacker. Or we could also change it around, like make Beast Hunter more flexible, but then only nightmare someone, or yeah, I would say role block them for the day. Trapper, equals or... Yeah, I think Trapper is definitely better than Beast Hunter for sure. Okay, I see that the small majority is for 80 for the Trapper. I think that's like fair. I still think the Ghost ID is a bit high there, but yeah. We'll see later if that actually is gonna change. Alright, let's go. Hello, Angela, how are you doing? Fun to see you here. Let's go to... Witch. Let's do the Witch. Alright, what do you guys think of the Witch? BH and Trapper are really good, especially when you trap Jill / Gunner. Yeah, they're like gonna be unkillable, and then they can also like do their protections as role blocking. BT, yeah, worst Astro, I would say so. Like, the only thing that the Witch has going for it compared to the Astro is that you can protect against solos, but it's like it requires so much more skill than the Astronomer. It's kind of crazy. Like, it should be the opposite. Even though I don't want the Astronomer to be a base role at all, because that would mean that we have to deal with that role a lot more than we already have to do. What's the Guardian Devil then? A for base. Well, you have the flexibility you need. Yeah, but we don't count in that's a base roll or a advanced roll. It's just like pure rolls. Like, also we are not gonna count in like RSVs have to be a bit more strict than RRV tier rolls. Like, an RSV is like objectively just usually stronger than the RV. Unless you have like very broken RVs. Sometimes then the RVs are better, but which is easy A and like I genuinely don't know which are you guys gonna put in the not top 10 tier, because there's so many roles that need to be put there in the end. Like, we're gonna have 5 roles in the bottom, so like there's gonna be 5 roles. No, actually it's gonna be 6 now, because we've 16 roles, I think. Wait, now we have 8 and we still have to go through 8 as well. Yeah, so 6 roles of the 16 are gonna be in the not top 10. But yeah, I don't know, I would not say which should be one of them, but I'm genuinely curious which other 5 roles will follow the locksmith there. Alright, you guys give your judge on the Witch now. S, A, B or C tier for the Witch. It just goes to show as well, like, even though protectors are kind of like, the protecting ability in general is like kind of neglected by players. Like, they think, okay, it's not that important, not that strong. But if you just look at all these roles, there's only like a few roles that are really not that strong. Like, most of these roles are actually quite good. Yeah, we have some Nintendo music here, Angela. I think you should recognize that for sure. Well, not every song, but... How is Jellywolf a protector? Yeah, okay, so Jellywolf technically has a protecting ability, but I have decided that I'm not gonna count werewolves in the same tier list as villagers, because if I were to do that, I would also have to put Wolfseer, Sorcerer and Blind, Werewolf and Evil Detective in the Informer tier list, and that just kind of feels weird, because how are you really gonna compare strength-wise a Wolfseer with a Seer? Like, a Wolfseer is really good for the werewolves, but is it really as good as a Seer for the village? Or is it like maybe better even? It might be better, but it's just kind of like, and like objectively, Wolfseer is a better Seer because it's a Seer, but it can also kill if you want it. But then if you compare it within the team, it's like maybe different. So it could like make an argument for werewolf protected roles to also become to also be part of this tier list, but I think it just doesn't make sense to have like different teams on the same tier list here. Let me check what the devil thing is. Destroy. Doctor protects you. But devil can destroy Doctor's shield. So werewolf can easily kill. Okay, so basically that's like toxic wolf. Yeah, that's what someone also suggests. I would say, Milan, that sounds like a bit role we already have in the game called the toxic wolf. Alright, so what is the witch gonna be? A tier. Alright, let's put this in the A tier. We're going to rearrange this, by the way, at the end, but yeah. Okay. Now that you guys are talking about flagger, we can just do the flagger right now. Where do we put the flagger? House witch higher than forger? I don't know. That's like the different people that are like in the beginning and then at the end of the stream or in the middle, like that they have different perceptions, I suppose. Like, I'm genuinely still, like, looking at how many of these roles have killing abilities. I'm still surprised the Ghost Lady is in the A tier, because honestly, for me, it's probably a candidate for the not top 10, but like high candidate there, like it would be like number 11, but I think like it's, if you have so many roles that can kill, like surely the Ghost Lady is gonna be one of the weaker protectors in the game. Even though it's strong, but it's like relatively to other protectors, it's kind of weak. Arcade can say, yeah, I feel like this. I remember this video I made in the past. That was like, I think it was like roster experiment series, which I had a 1v1 with a serial killer as flagger. That was like quite memorable for me. Yeah, Flagger is like, I don't know who it was. There was someone who also like, if we're gonna count like maximum potential, Flagger is like that one instance where we need to talk about that, because Flagger has a lot of maximal potential, but you need the right player, you need the right skill to do that. So there we also have like some realism into the game. Then it also is like up to you, how difficult or easy do you think it is to reach the most potential? Because I would say reaching most potential as Arsonist is much more difficult than reaching most potential as Flagger. But still, there's like a skill game to it. Red Lady own protection. Honestly, I didn't really count the Red Lady. I did consider it, but it's like, yeah, it's like so niche that I think it's not really. I don't want to count the Red Lady as protection. It's almost like a pseudo protection. It's not like actual pseudo protection at all, but maybe it actually kind of also is, but I don't know. Let's make a poll for the Flagger. Like, just say, as things stand right now, the weakest 6 roles would probably be like, well, we don't have like a lot of the weaker roles, we've not judged those yet. But currently the weaker roles are Locksmith, Forger, Doctor, Witch, Trapper and Ghost Lady probably. I do assume that like some of the roles on the right are still gonna go up there as well, but also holy moly, what's my YouTube chat is like, for some reason suddenly it's not really loading anymore, which is annoying. I don't see the YouTube chat anymore, that's stupid. Is there any way I can like see that again? this is weird. Okay, I need to open my stream somewhere else because apparently I can't read the chat on my OBS anymore. Pretty stupid. Alright. I try to make a roll. I try to make a poll, but apparently it's not showing up. Okay, there's the poll. Alright. Flagger is kind of like transporter, but less scale. I didn't know what the transporter does exactly though, so I can't really judge that. Yeah, maybe I would say Milo, maybe it's good if you like. I like that you have a lot of ideas, but most of them I find it difficult to understand them because they don't really. I don't really know how they would like. That's especially on my community tab. I don't know how they would like be like in practice in Wolvesville specifically. Like it's almost like your roles are like created for different game, which are like, yeah, I don't know really how to understand them in that case. And apparently some people don't like it when you post a lot of roles here either. So maybe you can place the roles in the chat, or not in the chat, but in the comments below, or in the Discord, yeah, because I also have in the Hyperhood there is a forums where you can post your role ideas, and I could like show you after the stream how to do that if you want that, and then people might also check it out or not. I don't know, depends on how much they like your role. All right, so it seems like we are gonna put that figure in the S tier. Alright, there goes the flagger. Flagger shines with the killing power, but there are more consistent ways for killing with other roles. Yeah, definitely when it comes to killing. Definitely. Flagger is one of the most fun protectors, true. Alright, let's move on to... Okay, this is probably already a weaker role here. The bodyguard! Let's go and do the bodyguard. I don't know how you guys think of the bodyguard, but... Tell me what you think. How should we rate the bodyguard? C. Do keep in mind we still have like actually that doesn't matter. No, you don't have to say not top 10, because in the end we'll just move some roles there that are like the lowest. If you think it's C tier and it's gonna be like the second lowest in the end, then we will put it in the not top 10 tier. But 6 roles are gonna be there. Whole take BG equals or is better than tough guy. I kind of don't know. Like, usually not. I would usually disagree, but sometimes I think like situationally the bodyguard can be better than the tough guy. But bodyguard is, I would say, it is an underrated role. But if you compare it to other protectors on this list, maybe it's not that strong. Hello, I'm a pacifist. Welcome in. Yeah, I will show you how to use Discord later, Milan. Okay. Any opinions on the bodyguard? I kind of want to have like some takes on the bodyguard, like so I know where we have to place it. I figured we are gonna probably put ABC and not top 10 in the poll, but bodyguard is strong prot in late and useful, so A tier. A tier. A tier is the same tier as Witch and Astro. Keep that in mind. Suffolk is good, but only 2 saves. Yeah, only 2 saves. Although I have to say, like, I like the balancing of the bodyguards really good. Like, it doesn't need to be stronger or weaker, I think. BG is guaranteed safe if no protective. You mean it depends. If you're gonna, I don't know how you would say it's a guaranteed save. Technically, like, the werewolves could like just outnumber you and you protect like someone who's not even gonna be a target at the first place for the whole game. Like, that is like, I don't think it's a guaranteed save, and smart werewolves don't attack bodyguards. Like, only rarely. Like, there's only like a few instances where you would attack the bodyguard. Like, I don't know, if you're trying to, if you claim bodyguard yourself or doctor and you're going to, you counterclaim the bodyguard, you don't want to kill someone, you want to just attack the bodyguard, make it seem like so you could have saved, then you might want to attack the bodyguard. You might also want to protect him or attack him if there's a lot of traps. Then you might attack the bodyguard because you think it's like one of the safer options. But in general, you don't want to attack the bodyguard, I would say, as a werewolf. And also, if a bodyguard is just not taking the right target, I think it's not a guaranteed save for the bodyguard. But yeah. Doctor can, yeah, that's true. Doctor can carry a game, bodyguard cannot. How long has the stream begun? You can actually see that it's 66 minutes ago. Alright, let's do a poll for the bodyguard. Hello, Red Netherbrick, Night Watchman, FFF tier based on their SSS tier, not rage bait. I would say in terms of balance and design, yeah, but strength wise, maybe not. That kind of depends. But I don't think Beast Hunter could be. I don't think Beast Hunter is like ever the best role for strength. Like, Night Watchman is gonna be an interesting argument because there is like a reason why people say it's balanced. Even though I disagree, I don't like the mechanic, but like, just strength wise, if there's no other protectors and if you're playing against people who don't claim, then Night Watchman is kind of useless, honestly. But Night Watchman in general, like, the existence of Night Watchman just scares me. As a werewolf, then. Alright. Okay, interesting. So, even though, like, we have a lot of these strong rolls are on the A tier, I think there is. Everyone wants the bodyguard to be in the A tier. Interesting. Or everyone, most people. I do think we need to make the icons a bit smaller as well. Alright, which one is next? Yo, Lazu, welcome in. Can people stop voting A? Yeah, I don't know, man. I genuinely don't know how come that all these protectors, like, if we are talking about how good these roles really are, there's such a discrepancy between Astronomer on one hand and Bodyguard on the other, or even Witch on the other. Like, the power difference is so huge, I don't know how they're on the same tier. And people just want to have things on the A tier, but honestly, I don't know. I don't agree with this tier list so far at all. You can probably see that, but it's not my tier list. We're making this together. It can be annoying to play, but I don't think it's that annoying. You should if you play against the bodyguard, you should counterclaim it. Like, or if they are RV, you can counterclaim like any RV. You can just claim RV and counterclaim it that way. Bodyguard is the type of role. It's if you're not someone who's gonna claim, it's annoying to play against it, but it's your own fault and not really a fault of the role design, in my opinion. All right, let's go and do one that's probably a bit easier. The jailer. What do you think about the jailer? Is this also gonna be an S tier role? Do keep in mind, it's more than protecting. We count all the utility of this, so role blocking and killing foremost, but yeah, even informing to lesser degree. The jailer is like probably one of the stronger ones, in my opinion at least, but yeah. Jailer easy S, easy S. Not good for protection, is good for role blocking. Yeah, but we do like the protection is like not the main. Well, it's the main thing kinda, but utility is equally as important because the T list is just based around roles that have a protecting ability. That's not as niche as the Red Lady. Thanks for the follow. I cannot read that name. It's like too small. I need to make that alert bigger. But thanks for the follow. Or for the subscribing. Jailer is B tier. Ooh, that's a crazy hot take there. I should buy some lights. I do have lights, but yeah. Sometimes my camera doesn't pick them. Sometimes the lights do not pick them up that well. I probably should get better lights. Only problem is like if I have like I had this huge studio lamp in the past, the studio light. But if I would put that right here, my electricity would probably die here. So like it's kind of it eats the electricity, and electricity in this wagon is not that strong. So I cannot like easily upgrade my lights here, unfortunately. But I do consider like getting some smaller lights on my desktop, so I can like at least light the front here. You deserve more subs. Thank you for that, Milan. I hope I get more subs as well, but yeah, it's always hard. Jailer, you have protect, kill, RB, informer, and convertibility. Easy as. Okay, let's make a poll here. Nobody is gonna want to have it in the not top 10, so I don't think there's like. So far, we've not had a single poll in which it was really difficult to choose whether we would exclude S or the not top 10 option. You're 20 subs. Congratulations with the 20 subs milestone. That's also a nice milestone already. With one video, that's quite impressive. Okay, well, majority is definitely gonna go S, I see. Yeah, okay. I think this is honestly quite... I can already end the poll. This is a pretty easy, obvious answer. For some reason, the poll result doesn't show up in the chat. I don't know if that's like me. Oh, it does show up if you have like normal live chat. I'm curious, what roles are gonna end up not top 10? Because everything ranks pretty high. Yeah, I know. Like before I went into this stream, I thought like, okay, the traditional protectors that have like no additional abilities are gonna be the not top 10 ones. So I was thinking, Doctor, Bodyguard, Ghost Lady, foremost those roles. I was like, the other ones, it's already quite hard to put them in to consider which one should go where, but now we are here and like almost nothing is there. And even like the one role that is in the not top 10, like okay, if we're gonna put 6 roles in the not top 10, I would probably still put this one in the not top 10. But even that is crazy. Like the fact that this is like the lowest thing, even though it's like literally a stronger bodyguard, is crazy to me. But yeah, I still have to kind of confirm how the locksmith works, and I think we will check the video that I made. Or not made, but I recorded. I have some locksmith footage that I recorded, so... Alright, let's go with the ferryman next. I see some stuff about ferryman in the chat. Ferryman, where do we go with the ferryman? This is kind of strange, because you delay deaths, but you do have 2 users, and also you have a night chat, which is interesting, which none other role here does have. So ferryman easy S, and we do keep in mind that the utility also counts. It's not just the protection, because yeah, if it's just protection, it's like delayed deaths, not that strong. Could be useful, especially if you manage to keep like some extra information in the game, but not that strong. But the fact that you also have a night chat definitely helps it a bit. Wow, here, like, okay, here we have like different opinions in the chat actually. Like Marco just says like ferryman out of tab 10, and Emo says easy S, and then Frain Tolly says not top 10. I know it says mid A. Yeah, you have confirmability, but also I would say the confirmability doesn't really come from the medium chat, because usually ferryman games or soulbinder games have no medium game, so these roles don't really come together that often. Maybe in like 25 player setups or in custom setups, but not really in the regular game. So because of that confirmability is not really there. And since you cannot revive either, you cannot like bring someone alive to show you are a ferryman. But you can, if you ferry someone and you say like, hey, I ferried this player, and the player then dies at the end of the day, then you also kind of confirmed yourself. So it's still like confirmable. It is confirmable, which is like one of the definitely the pros of this role. But the protection ability is kind of weak. And the night chat, sometimes useful, sometimes not really. I'm actually genuinely curious, now that we have the mini games, how that's going to affect the night chat overall, like the night chat experience. Like I know that the mini games have been out for a couple of weeks. I've not played that much, so maybe you guys know this already a lot better than me. But I'd imagine like a lot of players would like to play mini games now, and then you don't see like many people just sharing thoughts about the game in the night chat anymore, and that would kind of be a nerf for all the night chatters, night chat roles like medium. But I don't know if that's a big change or not. Hello Emir, welcome in. The current quick game has both met and... Okay, that's kind of... Yeah, okay. Then you have like that situation with medium and ferryman confirming each other. Okay, so I'm not gonna put the... I'm going to make a poll. I think we're not gonna include the S tier here. But if ferryman ends up in A, I might make a second poll for the S tier with an Apple S tier option. So if you guys think this one needs to be in the S tier, vote A. I will make a second poll, but otherwise vote anything else. Or also vote A if you think it's a genuine A tier. Everyone knows they're ferry. Yeah, so ferryman is very confirmable. Yeah, but I don't know. Is it like... I know that minigames don't like literally affect, but is there like... Is there a pattern that not dead players like are now less active because minigames? Like that's what I was asking, because I'd imagine like if you were like pre-minigame era, if I was dead, I was like, okay, most people would probably leave in sandbox at least. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna like, especially if I'm villager, I'm gonna try and also summarize for the deaths. But now that there are mini games, or summarize for the deaths and for the medium, and then the medium can share that info and share my thoughts, and then they would progress. But now that mini games are a thing, I think those summaries are gonna be less common, maybe. But I don't know to what degree that actually is an effect that we see in the game. That's not something I've like been able to see yet. No one plays minigames. Is that actually true? That's interesting. Milan, I don't know what you mean. I play minigames. Yeah, minigames in Wolvesville. The minigames that we have like since the last update in Wolvesville. When you're dead, you can like play tic-tac-toe, battleship, and memory. I was thinking. Okay, actually, oh wow. Okay, so we have some votes on the not top 10, but the majority is an A tier. So that means I will have to make an S tier poll then. Experiment A or S or lower. I'm not gonna make another lower tier. I'm not gonna like actually make it. But the people who are like not satisfied with Airfairman going on the S or the A tier can vote for something lower to just kind of have a protest vote, I suppose. There you go. But the winner of S and A is gonna be where I will put the ferryman. I'm actually gonna shrink the icons a bit because I'm ready. Like, I figure there's gonna be more space that we need to fill in here. Let's make them. Is this small enough? I think so. Okay. Yeah, so majority set still like B or lower. But I know that the B voters are kind of split. So I think this suggests that A tier is gonna be it. That's what I was saying. How many minutes did we start? 82 minutes ago. Okay, so Ferryman, I'm gonna put this role in the A tier. Let's do Ferryman A tier. Where is the witch? Okay, wait. Whilst I'm editing this, you guys can judge the Beast Hunter. Let's go Beast Hunter next. Where is the Beast Hunter gonna be? That's actually an interesting one, I think. I think the icons should even be Maybe I need to make the icons even smaller because there might still be another role we need to put here or two. Let's make them 100 pixels. BH goes S, and there's no way you put it in S though. But Milan likes the Beast Hunter. B because cannot be A. High B or low A. Yeah, if you put the Trapper A, it's like, I would say pretty much, yeah, it would be really strange to put the Beast Hunter in the same tier as the Trapper. Especially like, we can definitely... Like on some tier lists you may want to put these roles all a bit more together, but here we can have like a lot of nuance because there's quite a big gap between some of these roles, I would say, in terms of strength, and they're still all on the same tier, but we have like empty tiers. Unless you guys really think that they're like almost identical in strength, but and don't worry about the order. We are gonna rearrange them at the end when everything's in the right tier. Not top 10 for you. Tripper has no disadvantage compared to yeah, true. I don't think people agree with you, Milan. I'm voting for S. Really deserves S for me. Why does it deserve S for you though? Like, I'm actually curious. Can you convince us to put it in the S tier? Like, what part of the ability makes it S tier for you compared to Trapper? Because I'm thinking about not including S but the not top 10 as option in this poll. Because when Werewolves try to kill, weakest werewolf dies. But that also goes for the Trapper though. You know what? I will just make an option A or S. There you go. BH is S for being betrayed. Yeah, I guess so. That does a... It kills a werewolf, yeah, but that's the exact same as the Trapper, but the Trapper can have more traps, so a higher chance of killing. Wow, B tier also still surprised me. Well, somewhere it doesn't, but the B tier is winning. That's kind of interesting. B for Beast Hunter. I genuinely don't know, man. Like, what at this point, assuming that at least one of these roles is gonna be A or S tier, like all B tier roles will go down to not top 10. Like, that's how it currently is. Because we don't have 6 roles in not top 10, and there have to be 6 roles because we have 16 roles in total. So all B tier roles will end up in the not top 10 tier, but it doesn't mean they're trash, it's just like kind of this format. But I am gonna put this on the B tier because that's what the poll suggests, so let's go. B tier for Berserk. For Beast Hunter. I read Berserk in the chat and then I just went Berserk. Okay, that's kind of funny. Alright. We don't have that many roles anymore now. In fact, we only have 3 roles left. Let's go and pick Night Watchman next. The Night Watchman is... Oh, this is probably the most interesting one of the ones that we have left. Because... honestly, I think Butcher and Tough Guy are I don't know how high, but they're probably both gonna be high logs. But Night Watchman, I don't know how you think of Night Watchman. Hello, Longsy, welcome in. Night Watchman, so do keep in mind the utility, do keep in mind confirmability, but also like be realistic. How often are you gonna confirm? Like it also comes down to what game you play with what players, how you play it, but there's a lot of things we can consider for the Night Watchman here. Dragon person doesn't die on Frenzy, only BH and the weakest werewolf. Yeah, that's the interaction with Beast Hunter and Frenzy indeed. Night Watchman good for counter claiming prot claims, but free prot is a bit too less. I'd say high A since Night Watchman usually dies before using all free prots. I don't die before using my prots honestly, but that might be because I happen to live long as Night Watchman most of the time. But it also really depends on how you play. Like if you are gonna arrange protection and werewolves, and you have like werewolves who are not claiming, so they don't make use of scapegoats, and you are trying to rearrange protections, then you will probably die because the werewolves don't see you as a loophole or as a scapegoat, and they see you as a main target instead, and you just claimed, so easy for them. But if you play like a bit more passively, like I usually do with Night Watchman, and you have werewolves who try to take advantage of the Night Watchman somehow, claiming, or at least claiming protectors, then you will not die for a long time. Hello Apto, welcome in. Solid A. In this tier list, it's a B tier. This game right now, pretty unpopular opinion, but Flagger is always so overrated. Wow, okay, yeah. I don't know, like in terms of strength you mean, or fun, or both? You can do anything against Arso, unlike Trapper and BH, and to get a kill on the right person you need skill. It becomes even worse in passive games because you kill Venom most of the time. That's true in sandbox or like quick game. Trapper is, Flagger is not always that strong. It's very situational, like Avenger, but it's like less situational than Avenger, but it's still situational. Arso bypass. I think Arso nowadays Arsonist does bypass Beast Hunter traps. I'm not sure. They probably have it in the game in the FAQ nowadays. But I know like in the past you could actually save as a Beast Hunter or Trapper from Arsonist douses. Not from ignites, but from douses. But Arso and Siren, they indeed did get a buff not too long ago that they bypass all protections now. So that is true. That is a change that happened. So which is indirectly a nerf for the Beast Hunter and Trapper. But yeah, we were with the Night Watchman now. Night Watchman is good because can see any protects and plus 3 protects. Yeah, and 3 protects, some people may say it's not that much, but 3 protects, usually that's enough that you need. Unless you're the only, like, it really comes down. Like, if you're the only protector in the game, 3 protects might be a bit low. And then also, if the werewolves are not going to claim, your visibility ability isn't really useful at all. But it is kind of useful because you do know that, like, okay, no one is protected, so I must protect probably. But it's like less useful than if there were like a couple protectors. But sometimes this role is really OP, the Night Watchman. And if you have good villagers, the werewolves cannot claim anything protective related, and you can just shut the werewolves up basically. So okay, I definitely see. Oh. I think this could be a poll for for just ABC, but I'm gonna include S here. I don't see anyone arguing it's not top 10. Hypo, how does Locksmith work again? Isn't it free self-confirm? Yeah, it is. And there was a bit of an argument here in the chat with, or argument, that sounds like it's pretty bad, but no. We are not sure how quick it acts. I thought that the Locksmith has like the same action speed as the bodyguard. So you select someone at night, and that night you are both protected. Unknown, on the other hand, said that it works as quickly as the Beast Hunter traps, which would mean that you were kind of slow as a Locksmith, and then it of course is weaker than what I thought it was. NWM is a Night Watchman. You watch men at night, yeah. Doesn't watch women, only watches men. Yeah, once I played against Locksmith, I think that might have been on my stream in a recording. I don't know if you were there, but I've had those recordings in which like the Night Watchman or the Locksmith kept saving. Locksmith kept saving. The Weirs couldn't get rid of the Locksmith because it just immediately is able to save again, and it's just like broken as hell. That's why it's not in the game either. Well, apart from other problems, but mostly because it's too broken. And that's why I'm surprised that this role, out of all roles, is like in the bottom now. But we'll have to see. Okay, Night Watchman, 80% says it should be 8 here, so I'm gonna make it a bit smaller then, so that it fits. And we're gonna put it in the 8 here. Alright. Wow, we have to take... I thought if there's any role that's gonna go down, it would be the Night Watchman maybe. But now we have the tough guy and the Butcher. Let's go Butcher first and we'll end on the tough guy. Where does the Butcher go? Butcher S tier. Butcher is really strong, but I don't know if it's like on par with Jailer and Warden in particular. I also hate Butcher, especially playing against it. It's kind of lame, but it's a really strong role. Do we rate by protection value? I'd say Witch and Astro are better than most others just because freely killing someone. Yeah, so we rate by both like utility and protection. Otherwise we would just like compare like how much a protection can do, because Warden protections are stronger than Doctor protections, so then we would have an objective list of Warden being higher than Doctor, so that's something I think it's kind of boring to do. I could do that for YouTube Shorts, for example, but not like on a stream where we're gonna talk about opinions. So that's why we also count utility. So that's why stuff like Warden and Jailer are really high, because they have bullets and roll blocking and stuff. Annoyance like a mosquito, well. When Butcher is fixed, Weirs and Arcade doesn't go for key rolls because they think Butcher protects them. Yeah, that's true. But honestly, they shouldn't go for key rolls when there is Doctor or Night Watchman either. But they do it anyways. But the Butcher is definitely just objectively stronger. Like I think there's one thing that the Butcher cannot do and the Night Watchman and Doctor can do, and that's like Night 1 protection. But apart from being instigated and then protecting like the instigator from potential werewolf or solo killers, or protecting your fellow recruit werewolf from the solo killer tech, like that's very niche. Like that is something you could do as a Butcher, or you can't do as a Butcher, but you can do as a Doctor. But that's so niche, like I don't know, man, if you would ever consider that. Yeah, a Night Watchman genuinely it can, but if you are gonna protect as Night Watchman Night 1, especially if you're like not recruited, that's just insane. Like you're gonna use one of your free protections randomly, essentially. That's just crazy if you would do that. But yeah, I think Butcher, I'm gonna make a poll for the Butcher. This is a pretty easy one. Well, easy. I think this is definitely gonna be in the higher tiers, but don't know if you guys want to have it in the A or the S tier. Butcher straight up strong. Yeah, if you were Conjurer, imagine that. You just, especially if the Butcher has like 6 protections still left. Because they died night 1, for example. You're a Conjurer, take the Butcher. You know that you're only gonna be in 1, so you just use all the meat and then you turn into something else again. Wow, that's kind of OP if you think of that. Hello, Innocent, welcome in. You spam the meat, exactly. Yeah, that's like way too broken. Okay, I'm quickly getting some water and then I will end the poll and see what it ends on, but it seems like it's gonna be S tier. When you claim Butcher, you can fake you still have meat. Yeah, that's also. But if you claim it and someone counterclaims it, or you're just being suspected, and then you don't protect the seer, for example, then yeah, kind of sus, man. That's also like not always gonna help you, but mostly it's gonna be in your favor most of the time. All right, I think yeah, S tier. The poll didn't change anything, so. Since I went grab water. Butcher S tier. Now the last one we have Tough Guy. Where the Tough Guy goes. Wow. Welcome back, Ari. Where do you guys want to see the Tough Guy? I might have to resize some icons again. If it's gonna be S or A. I saw like a hot take earlier. I forgot who it was. Who said Bodyguard is better than Tough Guy. Which, like, very rarely it is. But sometimes it is, I guess. Yeah, Frank Toldy said it as well. TG is overrated. It's like... I would say... It's so situational. Like, there's a couple instances where Tough Guy is very strong. Firstly, I would say it's very strong against solo killers. That's for certain. However, it doesn't work well against all solo killers. Like, Illusionist, yeah, it's strong. But Corruptor, not. And then it also not strong against all the Arsonist related roles because, well, apart from like Black Alchemist Potion, I suppose. Then it's very strong against solo SK, Evil Detective Kenny. There it's very strong. I would say maybe the most like forgotten usage almost of the Tough Guy would be against kitten conversions, because if you have a kitten conversion, the Tough Guy can just spot who got converted, like, because they're gonna turn into regular werewolf. They will be found first. So Tough Guy is really strong there, but yeah, kitten wolf conversions, you're not gonna have kitten wolf conversions in your average game. So it's also it's a niche thing again. But yeah, Tough Guy is not so strong if you find like a werewolf you already knew. Then it's like, yeah, so what? Then it's not that strong, honestly. So it's kind of situational. I think like S tier would be too high for Tough Guy. But there is like people who do say Tough Guy is like the second or most strongest RV in the game, which I don't know. I think the whole Witch tree beats the Tough Guy in strength, and maybe some other roles do as well. But Tough Guy is up there, but it's not like that strong. Not Witch, Astro strong. Yeah, Kitten Conversion itself does. Kitten Conversion itself does bypass the protection. However, I was more talking about the... If someone has been converted and then they attack the Tough Guy, or someone is protected by the Tough Guy, then the villager that is converted is a regular werewolf, and they will show up to the Tough Guy. And then the Tough Guy is strong, because the Kitten Wolf conversion, finding who is converted is sometimes pretty tough, and then the Tough Guy can just solve it quite easily. So that's what I was trying to say there. But that's like, yeah, also very niche still, because Kitten Wolf is like one of 4 roles in the junior tree, and it's like junior doesn't even appear in every setup anymore either. How many minutes ago? We started 105 minutes ago. You can see that on the bottom in the description. You can see how long we started ago. Alright. And it doesn't provide extra material. Yeah, it only postpones like its own death and someone else's death, I guess. But it doesn't really provide material. Alright, where are the Tough Guy? Where are you guys gonna put the Tough Guy? Are we going to make another tier list based on your own opinion? Maybe. I could do that. I'm not gonna do it on stream. If I would do that, I would do it on video, or I would make it... Maybe I could also like react to these tier lists. And like... react as in... Pick this tier list, make a video of how I would do it, and explain why. But... That's like, so I don't know if I will do that. But at some point I will probably make a video again, ranking roles. Like, not like something I've on my short-term radar, but 2026 is still really open in terms of what I'm gonna do in 2026, so... And I probably wanna have a bit more videos next year again. S tier for the Tough Guy. Someone, and yeah, there's also like a minority community voting for the C tier. Wow. But it's gonna be an S tier. That's where we put the Tough Guy. It's a bit cramped in S tier as well, but I'll just keep it for now. Alright, now guys, I wanna know what are like general things you want to see moved. I'm going to move everything from B to the not top 10, because I assume that these are going to be the roles that I like the worst 6 for sure. But 2 of the roles in the A tier have to go down as well. And then I want to know how things are going to look like then. You guys are going to give me like roles from A tier that you want to see in the not top 10 tier. Doesn't mean they have to be weak. Or yeah, you have to pick the 2 weakest roles, of course, but it doesn't say like they're significantly weaker than the A tier, but just like there's only going to be 10 roles in the S to C tier. Forger and Doctor need to be moved down as well, which is still like, well, Forger kind of feels crazy to me, but maybe it's not that crazy. Somehow it feels like Forger doesn't belong in the bottom. And according to you guys, Locksmith is the worst one. Even though I think I definitely don't agree with that. Alright, let's see. Also, you all should have put like C. Yeah, Doc should have been in the C tier. Because now we just like... It's really difficult to... Everyone wanted to put a lot of roles in the A tier. And I think Like, the one thing I would agree with this tier list, apart from maybe Flagger, is like the S tier. The S tier is like very solid. However, the A tier is really strange for me. I wanted to move the Forger a bit. What is gonna be... Okay, let me check if there's any suggestions. I'll say TG is pretty low for an S tier. It has to be on the lower end of the S tier probably, yeah. GWW, Guardian Werewolf, but Guardian Werewolf is not on this list. Ghost Lady and BG Move do not top 10. Ferryman, Ghost Lady. This is only Village Innocent, yes. Ghost Lady down, Locksmith not top 10. No, yeah, I don't know why either. Ghost Lady and Ferryman for me. BG and Ghost Lady. Astro and Witch up. Fairy might also need to go. Okay, so it's pretty evident to me which 3 roles we have to move potentially. Which ones go to not top 10. So I'm gonna make a poll with 3 options. All the options include 2 roles. And you guys get to pick which option you like the most. Ghost Lady and Ferryman, and then we have Ferryman and BG. These are the 3 options, and based off the winner on this poll, I will move those roles down. I probably will have them like being the higher ones on the not top 10, but yeah, we still have to move some stuff down. And I think we might have to move some other stuff down to B and C as well then, but we'll see. You like them all, so you're not going to vote. Yeah, it doesn't. You could also, you can not vote, I guess, but people are still gonna vote, so it's not gonna like change anything. Day ability village rules are good. You can pick 2 people until you save someone, right? Yeah, true. Like, you have like a pretty high chance of saving someone at some point. And there are, honestly, there are quite a lot of, I think there's quite a lot of day ability village roles as well. Like, Mayor can be crucial. All the Gunner, Fiji, booty related roles are very useful. Flower Child as well. No, just kidding. Not very useful, but sometimes, very occasionally, it's very useful. But in particularly, the Mayor, Preacher, and Fiji Tree are like good daytime abilities. But that's not that many actually, if you think of it. Most things are night stuff, just objectively speaking. But yeah, Fiji is one of the best ones for sure. So it's worth saving Fiji. Conjurer is also, well, it's Conjurer. Sometimes it's worth saving Conjurer as well. And I guess, how many roles are there like that act at nighttime, but they need to live? They need to survive to actually act, to actually have their ability being used. Like Medium, for example. Because I'd say, like, if you ferry the Medium, I figure, like, that's gonna... And if Medium was about to save someone that night, I figured that the ferryman could very well have saved the Medium in that case, like, and actually made use of that ability. Whereas, if the Medium didn't like get ferried, then the revival ability would be wasted. Hello Andre, welcome in. Ferryman on meta is useless. It's kind of, it's like also very niche because usually they don't go together, but Like, apparently there's a possibility in quick game now. Alright. It seems like Ghost Lady and Ferryman it is. Ghost Lady and Ferryman. Let me actually resize these a bit. I think they're gonna be a bit too big otherwise. Okay. Now, chat. If just shout now, not in caps maybe, but and also not spam, but just say like, if there's any role here on this tier list you wanna see moved, tell me. Like, if there's like a role that's commonly agreed to be that needs to be moved, we can make a poll for that one. And then we will. What we are gonna move? Ghost Lady and Ferryman. Actually, based off the other options. Okay, that suggested Ferryman is probably in the right spot there. Ghost Lady also gonna be moved to the not top 10 tier. BG down. Fagger is A. BG down. I would say BG down is probably fair because people shouted it to be on the not top 10 tier anyways. I think BG going to C would be fair here, but I'm not sure if you guys want to have it in B or C, so we'll make a poll for that. House Dog and not in top 10, well, which can protect just once? Because we are considering utility as well, so the kill potion also counts, like, and equally as much, or even more, because it's stronger arguably than the protection. But yeah, if we were just looking at protecting, yeah, the doctor would like the doctor would be objectively better than witch because same protection value but more protection. Why is Butcher banned? Is Butcher banned? I don't know. Oh, in ranked. Yeah, Butcher is because it has too many protections. It's like too broken, and Flagger can be like countered, I suppose. It's a bit more skill based and less like spam based. Jader better than War. We will rearrange the tiers themselves later on. Okay. So I want to say maybe considering the chats, what you guys suggest, like you want to, I see like some shouts for Bodyguard going down and I see Forger going up. Let's say who should be in the not top 10? Forger, like it is now. BG. Okay, these two. Let's see. Then we can settle the not top 10 tier at least. Yeah, B and C are just empty, but I imagine that's gonna change. Like, I would argue Night Watchman probably, or Witch goes to B at some point. Trapper maybe even. I think I see some suggestion that Tough Guy has to be moved down, or even Warden and Flagger as well. Bodyguard's probably gonna be C or not top 10, and then Forger is gonna be like in the middle. So we are gonna range and stuff. Okay. So pretty easily that the forger is gonna be here somewhere, and the bodyguard is gonna be in the not top 10 then. There you go, 150 pixels. I'm going to the order of the tiers themselves. We're gonna do that last. Okay, then forger. Okay, what? Give me some shouts for the C tier, guys, in the chat. Like, and foremost looking at everything that's like forger and up. Is there any role you want to see in the C tier? Like, if you genuinely don't want to see a C tier role, that's fine too. Like, you can use like an empty C tier to just distinguish like a clear layer of strength. But if you want to see something in the C tier, tell me now, and then I will see if that's something we can agree on in the chat. Hello, Dio Brando as well. Welcome in. TG depends about player and opponent. It needs a bit of skill, not that much though. But it's like with most protectors, it just needs to be able to save someone. Flagger on C. I genuinely don't know. Like, I think Flare on C, that's like quite a hot take, honestly. Like, I could see an argument for Flagger on B, but C is like crazy. Hello, Midon, welcome back. Flagger in C tier protection is risky and may kill villagers, so sometimes protection is not used. We're going to be forced to put 6 rolls at bottom. Yeah, but that's just kind of like how the format is. Like, it's kind of the twist to these. Initially, I think I did this first with the solo killers because I wanted to. Yeah, that was because I was making a top 10 strongest solo killers myself. That was in April, if I'm not mistaken. And then I just wanted to know what 10 roles you had. The community had like in the top 10 across S, A, B, and C, and now I just went off this format. But that's like cool because now I can just also use this in the future on potential rankings from my side. So Flower Child, okay, Flower Child is like, I guess protection a day, but I'm not gonna include Flower Child here, honestly. I don't know if I'm gonna join. I try not to join too many Discord servers, honestly. Okay, but I don't get the impression that anyone wants to put something in the C tier here. So yeah, FC would be an easy not top 10. Like, probably like the very worst one. Like, definitely below Locksmith as well. The Flower Child is like arguably, along with, okay, apart from the regular villager, like the weakest villager in the game. I would say sometimes you could make an argument for the Loudmouth to be worse. Or maybe even the Avenger, but I don't think really that there's like anything weaker than Flower Child, honestly, in the game. Alright, Forger. I'm gonna let's I don't know, how should we go about this? So I think C tier is gonna be empty. I see no one saying something for C tier apart from one person saying that we have to move the flagger down to C, which I've not seen anyone interact with either. So I assume that's rage bait. Okay, we can just start with the Forger, I guess, again. Forger. A, B. Let's go. Okay, Forger. I think that's a fair one. And now we can, if we put the Forger somewhere, we can like start comparing with Forger and stuff. And it's gonna make it easier. It was rage bait indeed. Yeah, I thought so. And still I fell for it. I'm not really someone who falls for rage bait in comment sections all the time. I try to, not at least, but when I'm streaming I just try to reply to messages, you know. At least if they share like some sort of interesting take. Okay, Forger, the fact that Forger is at 75% tells me that we're probably gonna keep most roles there. I'm not gonna just say right now, but let's make a poll next for, you know, I think the Flagger is the one role I see a lot of people talk about, so let's do Flagger, keep in S, and now we're going to see where things is gonna realign. We know that I would say like what are probably like the most solid S tier roles are like Butcher and Jailer. Maybe Warden as well. Now you guys have an impression of what S tier and A tier probably should look like. You'd even put Forger in the S tier, wow. So this one is for the Flagger now, by the way. The poll that we are running. I want to see like, there's finally one person who says like, okay, Flagger should be staying in the S tier, but everyone else was saying it had to move down. Wow. Okay, assuming that if we're not gonna get any more votes on the Flagger poll, we have a tie between A and B right now. Okay, A is getting a vote again. I will just also like keep in mind what C and S say then, because if they are tied and more people vote C than S, then I will just put it in the B tier in that case. But now it definitely does seem like we are gonna have it in the A tier. Alright. Get Flagger to not top 10 even. You would say so? I think no one is gonna agree with you though, Apto. Maybe I could see your point, but I don't think I would even agree. I'm still curious to see where the Night Watchman is gonna stay. Or whether it's gonna stay. Okay. Flagger not top 10 is dirty. That is kinda dirty. It's like, it's not like top 5 strongest ones, in my opinion. So I think it's justified that it goes down. But like worst 6 out of 16, that's kind of crazy. If you've like these old-fashioned protectors that have like almost nothing else to offer, okay, apart from Ferryman and Beast Hunter to lesser degree, than protection itself, then yeah. Alright, what are we gonna put on the next one here? Trapper is also another one I've seen like a couple opinions on. I think nobody is gonna argue for S tier for the Trapper. So let's do A, B, C for Trapper and see if it needs to move. Because I see like a couple people saying Trapper needs to go to B or even C, and then yeah. Why the Bodyguard beats the Ghost Lady? I think he... Oh, that's a... There's like one... There's one advantage to Bodyguard, but small, very small advantage, I would say. And I think it would not justify Bodyguard being stronger than Ghost Lady, but that is that the second attack you face, if you... for instance, if you're bound with the as Ghost Lady with like Seer, and as Bodyguard you protected the Seer once. Okay, the Ghost Lady, if you're Ghost Lady, the Seer knows you're Ghost Lady, and Bodyguard does, and for the Bodyguard that's not the case. However, if you're gonna protect as Bodyguard, if you're Bodyguard and you're gonna protect the Seer again, and the Seer then gets killed, only you die. But if you're Ghost Lady, both of you die. So that's a disadvantage for the Ghost Lady, but it's really minor. Well, it could be like significant if you really need the manpower, but other than that, Ghost Lady is just better bodyguard. But yeah, there's still like the difference between the two is like relatively to all these other roles not that big maybe. Okay, this is definitely pretty clear for me. Trapper is gonna be a B tier role here. Like I get actually the impression nothing is gonna go on the C tier today. That's fine. Okay, next one we're gonna do is Astro, because I still don't know if Astronomer, if you guys think Astronomer should stay in A or go S. And I'm gonna include the B option here as well. Because like in the beginning of the stream when we ranked the Astro, it was like pretty early on. The people were pretty unanimous on putting it on the A tier. Well, there were also definitely people pushing it for S, but there was definitely a majority for A. But now I've seen like more sentiment towards, and now with like all the roles being a bit more settled and knowing, having compared them a bit more, there's more feeling towards the S tier, I feel like. Oh, we have a fake Opto, I see. I like how diverse our opinions are. Yeah, they are definitely very diverse. I can only imagine how diverse it's gonna be with some other tier lists. We still have like, I think 4 or 5 tier lists to go. Not that I'm gonna do a weekly tier list now, but definitely monthly till it's over, and then maybe we all do different type of tier list. Okay, yeah, this is a pretty easy outcome for the Astronomer. So definitely different than what the people thought in the beginning. Is it this same size? Yeah, it is. So Astro is gonna be S. We're gonna rearrange the order later, by the way. Alright, we like, I think we only need to, we need to reconsider like some S tier roles, but I'm first gonna check the smaller ones on the A tier ones. Hello KO Raphael, welcome in. Or KO Ref, I don't know if you were the same or not, but I will check if I join your Discord, but I'm not guaranteeing, Milan. Now we go to the Witch. I'm actually gonna include all the, nah, am I realistic to include S here for the Witch? I don't think so. We will include ABC for the Witch. You are KO Raphael. Ah, cool. Nice. So this one, this poll here is for the Witch. It still is gonna be A tier. Let me actually resize this quickly. Like, I would say Witch in the A tier, I would probably do that as well. Maybe B tier though, but maybe B tier, but A tier, very fair for the Witch, honestly. It's at least good that nobody is gonna argue for C here. At least not yet. Till I say that, of course. Meanwhile, nobody talking about the poll from the top 10 to the bottom ABC. I don't know. what you mean, Milan, with that, but okay. Which is gonna be here. Then we have the Night Watchman. I wanna still see the Night Watchman because I'm not sure if you guys think it's S, A, or B, or C. This one is somewhat recent though, so maybe opinions haven't really changed. But I think this is a good moment to really see where what Night Watchman goes, and then I think we'll. I don't know if we need any pull for the S tier roles. Alright. Soon we're gonna make the order, by the way. And we're gonna start in the bottom. Night Watchman. Okay, so now the Night Watchman has to go in the B tier according to the poll. Look, and I just visually like more what we have going now. That we don't have like a filled in A tier anymore. It is, I would agree on that. It's really difficult to rate Night Watchman because the game is like, the context of the Night Watchman is so important to how strong this role is. Like how the werewolves are going to treat it is really crucial, and the other crucial part is how many other protectors there are in the game. Because with a lot of protectors, you really are an important role as Night Watchman. But if the werewolves, if there's not that many protectors, yeah, you're kind of weak. But because then your free Night Watchman protections are the thing that need to shine, and that's just not that many. Then the Doctor is just probably better. Well, now apart from the fact that Night Watchman still has the flexibility to protect multiple in one night, but yeah. It's Night Watchman is like the hardest role maybe to really pinpoint in this tier list. And Night Watchman just manipulates the way. That's also why every time you have a Night Watchman argument, some people just say it's a balanced role because the seeing who is protected plus having just 3 protections is not that strong. Which, yeah, if people don't bother claiming as werewolves, then okay, that's not that strong maybe. But if it's like if it only affects like how you are going to protect as Night Watchman, it doesn't really. Then it's a fair ability as well. But if it also means that the werewolves don't dare to claim, but otherwise they would claim, then it's a problem. That's why it does change the playstyle. And some people don't really realize that. And some people just ignore that because in quick game that might just not be like something that happens a lot. But yeah, it seems like Night Watchman is going to be B tier. Okay, anyone in the chat, if you if there's a specific S tier role that I need to move down, tell me now. I feel like you might be pretty satisfied already with it. Oh boy, I need to replay the playlist as well. If any role needs to be moved down from S tier, if there's not really anything that people push, if you don't push anything, I will just keep it as it is right now. Also, this is a good moment to move the chat box because, yay, there's now a dedicated space for it. That's better. Okay, TG is like the only one role I see in the chat, so let's do a poll for TG. And after that, I think we can actually start rearranging then we can actually start ordering the tiers themselves. And that means that we still have a lot of polls to go, but we'll just rapid fire through this a bit more. Because yeah, it's already like almost 5 p.m. and I need to cook, so I shouldn't make it too late. And wow, if we can get a few more votes, I know there's like 8 people watching, so okay, if we have 6 votes, it should work. Alright, TG in the A tier. Let's put it in the A tier, tough guy. Now we're gonna order the tiers themselves. This one is too big as well, by the way. Okay, let's start in the bottom. Like, the first time we did this was like kind of a problematic system how I did it. So now we're gonna go spot by spot. Weakest roll in bottom tier. Actually, that's kind of hard now I think of it. I'm just not gonna include... I will just omit the 2 that we added later, because I cannot include 6 options, sadly. But I will include them as soon as I can. Beast Hunter, BG, Dog. You know, the thing is, like, I think you guys are gonna vote Locksmith, but that's just because you don't really know how it works. But that's why it's interesting when I'm going to react to this eventually, or not. Like, I don't know actually for sure. I could actually just react to like the tier list itself, but I'm not gonna react to the stream because I play this in ultra low latency. So if I download the stream, it's gonna be in SD quality, so it's not gonna look that good if I am gonna resize it then into a video. But I can like just look at the tier list itself and then just rearrange them. And then I can just talk a bit more in depth about the Locksmith, what I think of it. You accidentally voted Beast Hunter. Okay, I don't know how much... I think 14% is how much that counts. Which would still... Which means that it's not gonna be the weakest roll. Then we are gonna make Doctor the weakest roll. Okay, Doctor is gonna be the weakest roll in the whole tier list. Interesting. I would probably agree though. For me it would be between the 3 base rolls here. You voted BG but yeah, it's not gonna be Locksmith or BG anyways. Okay, then we're gonna do the second poll for 15th. What is like a BH, BG, and Locksmith? I cannot like wait. I will just add the other option now. No, let's not do that. I will just add the other options when, or should I? I don't know. Ghost. Yeah, I can as well. Might as well. But it's kind of weird to do it just now. If you guys vote for Ghost Lady Ferryman, we need to sort that out as well. Welcome. See you later, Frain Tolly, if you're gonna go. Have a nice day as well. And thanks for the kind words yesterday or 2 days ago in Wolvesville. It was a fun story to read. My argument for Locksmith remains regarding action speed, which makes it the weakest one. Like, I still don't know if that's actually a true thing though, the action speed. I still feel like Locksmith has the same action speed as a bodyguard or doctor. Like what I remember from playing, because when was this? I played this when did I play this? I have this footage, but from when? 17th of January this year. Yeah, so this is probably the most up-to-date locksmith because I don't recall that they changed it anywhere. Ooh, the unknown aura is also a good point. Okay, Beast Hunter is gonna be in 15th. Lock it in. Then we're gonna... Now I can include all the options that we have in this tier. 14th. Ghost Lady. Ferryman. Locksmith and Bodyguard. Oh, add option. Like, I do think that if you target Seer and Seer gets attacked on the same night, Seer dies before lock is made. Yeah, that's what I already thought that you think so, but I genuinely we could test it. We could test it. Okay, so locksmith, if you're locksmith, okay, so the one thing we agree on how locksmith work is you give a lock to someone and that other player will see they got the lock and they will be protected and you as locksmith will also be protected. You will be locked in. If one of you gets attacked, the lock breaks and next night you can immediately make a new lock and protect the same player or someone else again. So basically you can become unkillable, both of you, apart from like junior tags and I guess Arso, stuff like that. But yeah. Difference is, Unknown says that it takes a day or a night actually to make such a lock, and I think what I remember is that it immediately affects the protection. That like in night 1 you make the lock and night 1 it also protects. But that's something we need to test. Okay, so Ghost Lady is the winner of this, or yeah, I guess loser of this poll. Interesting actually that we have the Ghost Lady now in 14th. Then we are going to... And it's actually not really... It's not even like a debate thing. It's just like one of us just doesn't remember it correctly. We could like solve it. Maybe we can solve it on stream. Like I will just invite some of you. Okay. 13th we have this... spots. We have Bodyguards, we have Locksmith, and we have Ferryman. I think Ferryman, by the looks of it, is gonna be the one that wins this lowest tier, but I'm not sure if that's gonna be how it becomes. Interesting actually that Bodyguard is higher now than Ghost Lady. Locksmith Insti is just invincible. That would be, yeah, true. That would be insane. Imagine that. And that's why I think it's a problematic role as well. That's why I think it shouldn't come to the game. At least not in the state how it is in right now. Anyone else wants to vote for what role should end up in 13th? You know, if we have enough players in the stream, if we have enough people who want to do that, we can test the locksmith mechanic, like after we placed all the things. They can vote into, yeah. So another way you can kill the locked player is like voting, I guess. But yeah, usually you just lock. If you're like not recruited, you're just gonna lock a villager that's important, and they're not gonna get voted anyways, apart from a Shadow Wolf ability maybe. Okay, 13th place, Bodyguard. And now we'll do which is the weaker. So read it right. Which is the weaker? Ferryman, Locksmith. Basically, which is gonna be 12. Oh, this one has to go there, and then we put this one here. Okay, we have a new poll, guys. Only one vote so far. Okay, we can also... Okay, if you guys want, we can also do the experiment now. And so that you get a... But yeah, I don't know. We can also do the experiment now, I suppose, but... That's gonna like... If that's like what I say is true, then at that point, maybe some of you might even want to put the locksmith up a tier or two, but yeah. Like, it actually really is kind of important information somehow, but... It's like, yeah, 2 red ladies on each other, but with 1 player, exactly. Only thing is it like as quick as I suggest, or is it a bit slower like Unknown suggests? Anyways, we only have 3 votes now. Where are the votes? Okay, 4 votes. Oh, it's 50-50 now. Okay. Now I need, like, I don't really need to grab a die and like or coin flip, or I need to make the final judgment. Like, I don't know where the votes go. Okay. If I decide, I will honestly put the... Like, I don't know. For now, I'm gonna put the locksmith on the 12th place and ferryman in 11th. But if what I say is correct, I think locksmith deserves 11th. Rather. But I think ferryman's knight ability is just... Like, well, I don't know if it's more practical per se, but it's like, I don't know, kind of hard to judge these two, honestly. They're still quite different. Okay, now we have a few tiers that are difficult. Which is the weaker B tier roll. Now we're going to the B tier. There's only 2 here, so we can immediately fix 2 of the spots here. Night Watchman. Alright, Trapper or Night Watchman. So read it well. It says the weaker one. So which one is going to be in 10th, basically? You guys decide. Night Watchman, Trapper. Let's see what it is. Oh yeah, shit. Up till you make a good point. Actually, we just already went checking and the locksmith is like not available anymore. I really don't know why they did that, because it definitely was available. I need to ask Philip about it, because... Oh boy, we have another tie again. If I need to decide again, man. If I decide, I'm gonna put the Night Watchman a bit over the Trapper, but like, I don't know. It's really like difficult as well here, because Night Watchman is so situational. But I think like the fact that it counters claiming is like, that's insanely strong. And Trapper is strong, but at least as a werewolf, I try to counter claim it so now and then. I will be deciding everything like if it goes like this. Yeah, I don't know. We still have like viewers, but not everyone is voting anymore, unfortunately. Alright, let's have the... I'm gonna say the Night Watchman in a higher spot. Okay. Now we're gonna make it a bit more easy, maybe, or not. Worst roll from A tier. Here we have 4 options: TG, Flagger, Forger, Witch. I'm really curious what this is gonna be like, because these rolls are quite distinct, especially like Flagger and TG from Forger and Witch. So this is about the worst one. Keep that in mind. The worst one. Oh no. 4 votes and 20. Okay, not gonna be a 50-50. Someone is messing around. Oh my god. Four-way tie. Oh, I need to be deciding this stuff now. People really had like preferences on where to put stuff, and now suddenly nobody cares anymore. Well, okay, apart from like the 4 people voting, or these 3 of them. It's a 2020, yeah. Okay, I will just. I feel like nobody. There's not enough voters anymore. So I will just put a roll here. What is... Okay, so what do I think then is the worst one? Okay, honestly, I am going to put the... I'm gonna keep the witch as the lowest one of these 4, honestly. But now you guys get another chance. Okay, I think, like, okay, there could be a 50-50. It could be a 2-way tie, but it cannot be a 3-way tie with 4 votes, so... how much... spots is this? Like, this would be 7th. Yeah. 7th is... So this is one, again, the worst one of the 3. TG, Flagger, and Forger. Forger and Witch are close for me, by the way. Like I could interchange them. The worst is hard. It is! It is. Okay, we have a couple votes at least. Okay, I just like, as soon as I see 4 votes, I think we have enough of, we have everyone who is actively voting still. Alright, so Tough Guy is gonna be it. Oh. I might need to move a bit of this. Tough Guy. Where's the Flagger? There. Flagger as well. Let's move Witch a bit to the left. And look it again. Alright. You think Flagger is the best? But I also saw like someone say Flagger is the worst of this A tier. Then we have the 6th place. 6th place goes to... 6th place is basically the weakest of Forger and Flagger. Tough Guy in 7th is also kind of, wow, surprising to me. But yeah, it's fair maybe. Oh, you didn't... Okay, if we have 5 voters, that's fair. Let's see what we get here. Okay, 2 votes in. We still have like a couple. We can. Okay, 3 votes in. Okay, 4 votes in. Okay. I think if nobody changes votes, if we have a 5th vote, then we will definitely close the poll. Otherwise, I will close it with 4 as well soonish. Alright, I think I don't see a 5th vote, so we'll go Forger here. That automatically means Flagger is actually the best rolls of the A tier. Wow. Interesting. Alright, Flagger. Forger can be locked. Now we're going to the S tier, and then we're pretty much at the end. Tough Guy seems a bit big, isn't it? It seems like it's a bit oversized, but it's not. Huh, strange. Alright, now we're going to the S tier. Okay, guys. The worst roll of the S tier. Or weakest, I should say. Probably that's a better one. Warden, Jailer, Butcher, and Astro. These are the options. Well, some very solid, strong rolls. Sometimes flag useless, but when protect and kill right person, it's advantage for village. Yeah. I don't know, I still feel like Flagger is more flexible than Beast Hunter, but Flagger requires more skill than Beast Hunter as well. But it's definitely a fun, much more fun role. I'm between Jailer and Astro, both can backfire village. Yeah. But water can also backfire. Like, like actually quite literally. It can backfire quite literally. If you try to protect 2 werewolves and then, yeah, they break out. Only Butcher cannot really backfire then. It's like interesting because everyone, you guys say like the weakest that these ones can like backfire, but the only one that cannot backfire is the one that gets like the most votes here. What a really hard to play. Oh, we have a tie now, 5 votes. Oh, 6 votes. Hey. Hello, Milan. 6 votes. Wow. Pooh. Now I need to make a decision, I think. I don't think we're gonna get the 7th vote, so... I will make a decision then, I suppose, for the one that's not gonna get the podium spots. Between Butcher and Astro, which one I think is worse? Honestly, I'm gonna put Butcher 4th. And that's because I think there's like the Astro. Mostly because confirmability is a thing for Astro and a bullet is a thing for Astro. And Butcher is like, yeah, if you really could protect 6 players, you can save 6 players, but usually you're gonna save like 2 or 3 players, at most 3 players, I would say. And that means a lot, but it's much more skill based than Astro, so it's harder to get a result out of a Butcher than of an Astro. And even Butcher is easy, but like Astro is like really easy. Which one takes first? That's gonna be the next one. Warden, Astro, Jailer. Butcher make you won't die day 1 to 4, so I think Butcher Warden for prot. Yeah, but we are not only talking prot, we are also talking about utility. So then I think all these other roles are just better. Right. I see 3 votes now for the for the poll. If there's anyone who wants to vote as well. For the this is the worst one of these 3, by the way. 3rd place. Warden, Astro, and Jailer. Okay, we have a tie. Okay, I definitely think I know now which role is probably gonna win this whole thing then. Which kind of surprised me somewhat, but also not really. Okay. Poor. Now, okay, I actually really want a 5th vote because I don't want to decide between this. Like, this is an important one, and I really don't know how to go about how to go about taking a weaker one of the Astro and Warden. Okay, so those who voted, can you make an argument of why I should pick Warden or Astro as the 3rd strongest roll and not as the second strongest roll. Okay, never mind. Okay, we have 5 votes. I'm just gonna... Oh, no! Okay, what happened there? Someone just... Okay. Okay, we have a winner. Or a loser. And a winner and a loser, I guess. Astro, 3rd place. I timed it... Well, someone was trolling, but yeah, that's the result there for them. Okay. Astronomer in 3rd. Okay, now it's between the Warden and Jailer. Second strongest. Okay, which is the second strongest one? Jailer, Warden. I think we already know the answer, but like at this point, if this is gonna be tie, I just know people are trolling. But you guys will be clowned on if I make this a video, and I will react to how you voted. So just saying. Mila, I'm not gonna just... I don't think people randomly join Discord servers. There needs to be a reason for them to join a Discord server. Bro, Jada can permajail people, yep. Oh my god, it's another tie. Okay, this one is very... I know this one... I know that Warden and Jailer very contextual because that's also what I notice how people argue about which role is stronger. Because in ranked, Warden is like the best role in ranked. But if you're playing with more like noobs, Jailer is usually better because you have more control as Jailer. And since I play more sandbox and not quick game, but if I don't, since I don't play ranked, basically I play like sandbox and sometimes custom games. For me, Jailer is like stronger. So if I'm gonna be the one who is gonna decide this poll, I am gonna pick the Jailer to win. But it seems like 6 votes. That's good. We're gonna have the Jailer as second strongest and Warden as strongest. So that's gonna be the end of this poll then. I'm gonna quickly check. Oh, this one can be actually a bit smaller. There you go. This one also needs to be a bit smaller. There you go. Okay, so Warden is our winner. Strongest protector, or yeah, strongest role that has protection ability is the Warden, and the weakest one is the Doctor. Let's go. Alright, this is the result you guys came up with. I am quickly gonna check if I happen to be able to, like, maybe I just didn't see it correctly. Like, I really want to see if we can do the locksmith experiment, because if we can check how it worked exactly. But it's really strange. Look, I have an old setup that has the locksmith, which is kind of funny. What if I run it? Is it gonna crash? Okay, what do we need to have in this role list? Let's make this 9 players. Let's see, can I do that? Warden best if you're a user, not a noob skin. Yeah, I think Flagger got overrated. Trapper, locksmith variant got underrated. Yeah, okay. Okay, I actually happen to have a fun setup here. By coincidence. So anyone who wants to join, I want to see if this works. I don't expect this to work, and honestly, because the locksmith doesn't seem to be in the game right now. Testing, I will just call it testing locksmith. And then maybe I can show it as well right now. Where you go? There you go. Alright. Okay, I think there's like, why do we have proximity chat? That's not necessary. Alright. Doesn't need to be no passwords. I don't care, we don't need a full lobby. I'm gonna make the faces even shorter here at least. Okay. We don't need a password. Anyone, you can join right now. If you want to test the locksmith with me. Huh? Okay, huh? That's weird. That's hella strange because if I open the role list, it doesn't appear anymore. Wait, let me leave this lobby and then reopen it. And now if I open it again, is it there? It's not there, it doesn't work. Oh my god, the game killed this. I don't know, man, but the devs have apparently removed locksmith from us. Let me see, can we try and find... I genuinely don't know why the locksmith isn't there. Okay, this is the exclude role thing, so this is not that useful. But look, if I look up locksmith, it just shows like loudmouth and flower child. That's just like, why? Why have they removed this? Like all the other roles are there: spy, journalist, rainmaker, gentle wolf. They're all there, but not the locksmith. No, no, no. Now we will never know. Indeed. Welcome back, Frain Tolly. I will ask Philip, actually, because this is just unfortunate. They like a promise of this was of the Moonlight membership is like these roles, right? So this is like taking away from our value. I don't know if any of you has the Moonlight membership, but this is like, imagine you subscribe to something and they just take it away, or not like all, but like part of it. Like this is like, we need authentic locksmith experiences here on this channel. I didn't think the live would be on. Oh, you thought it would be over, yeah. Yeah, we're essentially done. We've finished the tier list, so I was just gonna like try and find if I can try the locksmith, but it's also not like a changed name. I just don't see the icon anywhere apart from like in my role list, but why? Let's just add something. I don't care if it is like not something that works well. And now it's gonna like, it's like even crazier because I clearly put it 9-player here, and still it's like if I check the setup, it's 16 players, so it doesn't allow for it. Wait, what if I make it 16 player again? Add a couple villagers. I don't care what rules we have here. Apply. Please apply it actually. But no, locksmith is not there. Wolvesville, not only that, it's just like, I don't know, this, I hope it's a bug. Otherwise I think it's really lame. Or there was really a problem with the locksmith. Like I have more locksmith, but that's like literally this one. What if I do this? Even there, like all these other rules, like okay, what if I make a game? You have it in your roles. Yeah, it's really, yeah, it is. I do have it in my roles, because if you look at this, like if it's in my roles, here, it says the locksmith. And actually, we don't even need, you know, we don't even need to test the locksmith. If we can just read the description, that would work, I guess, as well. For like solving the question. But Is it actually ranked setups? Okay, wait. Is it actually ranked setup? Okay, try inviting. Sure, I will. Let me quickly click off some modes here that we don't need. Yeah. If I invite, I know Akba is here. Wolvesville wiki, but I don't know if they have updated it correctly. Genuinely, like, I know Unknown is here as well. I don't know if it's still in my list. I think it's Unknown here. Bidon is a Hypo fan. And then we have who else? Who else wants to? I can see if Frank Toldy is here. Really strange. Yeah, the wiki has like outdated stuff. That's why I don't rely on the wiki, honestly. Especially not in something like this that changed. Like, I don't know when, but it's so minor. Like, most people don't know about this role in the first place, so. No, the devs didn't forget to add it. They actually had it in the game. They just removed it, or it bugged out. Let's see, Bellringer. I can also invite Bellringer. Let's see. Is this like Vespas? You say that this is like literally a ranked setup, right? I can actually. It doesn't. It definitely doesn't look a bit like a ranked setup. That's kind of funny. We don't need many players, honestly. What is 4 players in our setup? Okay. Okay, we need we need a 5th player. We need a werewolf. Okay, if someone joins, if we have 5 players here. And we have a 5th player. I'll just invite. If we only like need a 5th player, honestly. Oh man, I've sorted it wrongly. Welcome back, Innocent. Okay, Bellringer's here. Let's just start. We should have like 5 players. It's gonna give us a ranked setup now. What are we doing? We're gonna try if the locksmith works. No, it's giving like roles that I'm not supposed to have. Oh my god, that's so stupid. You're mayor and I'm forger. Okay, there is someone in werewolf here. Okay, if Unknown says... Wait, mayor? Isn't mayor supposed to be banned from ranked? So it's not even like a fully ranked setup. Or am I crazy and is mayor like allowed in ranked? Yeah, you're not. There's no locksmith in the game. What is this? Oh, I forgot to forge, but it doesn't matter. Forger here. Okay, Locksmith isn't in the game. No, Mayor's not in the RFV pool ranked. I thought so. So it's like a fake ranked even. I'm gonna ask Philip straight after the stream to bring it back, because it's just kind of unfortunate that the game that we don't have a locksmith. We cannot find the answer. Who do we unload? If I see it back in the game, I'm going to invite you and we will test it together or something. Imagine if you accepted 5 player setups for setup tournament. Genuinely, that's interesting. Like that's an interesting idea. It's kind of silly, but if you say like we do 5 player setups and we do like, if you make a rule like no night 1 killing, you put like 2 evils in the setup and 3 villagers. I mean, you can get pretty creative with that, I suppose. Like I think that's like possible. We're not gonna do more, by the way. Just I'm gonna end the stream soon. I think that wouldn't even be too bad. Like, I'm not gonna do that for setup cup, obviously, but maybe we can like have a stream one day in which we just do like setups for only a few players. Like, you know what we can do? We can have like just dedicated streams and say like, okay, I'm gonna switch to the tier list for 1 sec. We could have like dedicated streams and say like, okay, in this stream we are going to make setups that are themed around this role, and this time we're gonna do like only us setups, and this time we're going to do 25 player setups and so forth, and 5 player setups. That's something we could like experiment with in the future, and then people can like still submit setups. We can just play them right away when they submit them, and just see what we get out of that. Like, that could be fun. A minimalist challenge. Yeah, that's exactly how you would think of it. I think if you have like that rule implemented, or because if you like, you could also do 1 evil, 4 villagers, and then you could kill night 1, but then there's gonna be a bit of RNG there, because you are definitely not gonna have information as werewolf no matter what you try. So, because if you have a wolf seer, it's just gonna become a regular werewolf right away. So I think we should not have that, but like if we make like 2 evils, 5 player setup, you could have different evils, different villagers. They could definitely give different dynamics. In general, I would say it's probably gonna become on the more plain side of things, because every game is gonna come down to the villagers are trying to figure out one of the evils. If they don't, they lose. And the werewolves have to just like counterclaim someone very hard day 1, and then there is gonna be like, everything is based around 1 conflict basically, and the one time the werewolves win that conflict and then the evils win, and the other time the village figures it out and then they win. So it is maybe a bit one-sided, but for one stream we could try it. We need a game mode in the game with user submitted setups. Yeah, I thought like for some time, like Fall Guys has currently, like I play Fall Guys sometimes, like usually on Mondays in the evening with a certain friend / Twitch streamer, and Fall Guys has like not made new maps / if you would translate it to Wolvesville setups in, I don't know, 1 or 2 years. They have a creator community. They have a community though who makes like custom maps. If you have like, if that would be a cool thing. You can like up and down vote those maps, and if we had like just one game mode in which people can like submit setups, they can be run, they can be tested, like, and then at the end of the game people can just up and down vote the setups. You can like get some creative setups in the pipeline, I think, and eventually like some setups might become so popular that they can actually become crazy game modes or be like put in rotations in sandbox and ranked. And I don't know, ranked if it's like balanced for that. So that's like, that would be a fun idea. Hopefully they could like implement it, but of course it shouldn't like split the player base too much. I'd imagine like if you would do that, that would probably need to replace sandbox actually, which is difficult to do, because if you don't make it replace sandbox, the player base is going to be split too much. Yeah, the XP would be based on win rate of teams. So yeah, initially I would say like if you have like the win rate system would be like, that would determine the XP, I guess, for winning. But that only works if there has been like a certain amount of positive reviews on it, that it actually is worth implementing a system for that setup. So I think like initially you would need to reward players that play test setups in a different way. Like, I don't know, for instance, like they currently have like daily and battle pass challenges, like play X amount of custom or crazy games. You could do like, okay, if you play 5 custom made setups, but then in that game mode, then you can get then you have like 200 XP as a daily challenge. I don't know, that would probably be a bit too less. Only problem is like it shouldn't be exploited to gain XP. We're not going to test again, Milan, sorry. I'm going to play custom games in a... I think we'll do custom games in a stream in 2 weeks again. That would be cool though. And I think as well, like custom games could be reworked in such a way that that would be the game mode for it. And then they need to just, I don't know, not only promote it more. Custom, I don't know how you would do that though. Because custom games, the problem with custom games right now for people is like, the lobbies don't fill. But if you've like a button that just teleports you into a lobby that's like trying to make custom setups, I don't know, it's really difficult. And XP farming is already a problem. I think that's like the biggest problem with such a game mode. Like you have to make a way to make it not like exploitable. You could like have different time phases even. But then again, like if you say, if you instead of making the challenge play 5 games in this custom test setup game mode, instead of that you make it like play 40 minutes in this game mode, then yeah, you could, and that's like the only reward from it. You don't get XP initially because there's no balanced XP system for it yet. Then I think that could counter most of the farming aspect to it, because you can just you could play like 40 minutes of boring XP farms, but then you might as well downvote those and upvote the fun setups. And before they could actually implement those setups into a real game, there can still be like someone being a filter to filter out the setups that look like XP farms. The scary thing is making the game mode allow you to complete quests, then XP farmers will target that game mode specifically to do quests. And then I think at that point they will also downvote. They will also represent their idea in the votes. Like if they see something that's like exploitable, they will upvote. If it's like more akin to a regular game mode, they will downvote. So that would be the sad part of it. So that's why it should not be like very exploitable, and that's why I think instead of going off of wins or game amount played, they should go off time played in such a game mode, and then reward the players around that. And also, like, I would say, like, they also had this system for honor, so I would not see why not for this. They could make a system like players who only downvote, for example, and rarely upvote, or the opposite. They should like have their votes should be a bit less. They should count a bit less. Although that's kind of like, it's also like kind of breaking with democracy, I suppose. But it would be cool to do, yeah, quests in cooler setups. I think win rate is a better idea because they always go for fill win otherwise. Yeah. Like, win rate for like checking if the werewolves and solos win enough, you mean? They added drafting, yeah. They've added so many crazy stuff. Like, apparently, they're even capable of adding a role maker in custom games. The only thing that is just mind-boggling, let me show if I can. This is a black screen right now. Sorry for that. Oh yeah, Discord is turned off, of course. Let me check. I can show you. Where is this? Let me first go. Where is this dev vote? And then I will show you real quick how this looks like. Oh, no. Why does it not show? Properties. Look, okay. Might be a bit hard to read. Look, if we go to this dev vote recently that they put out, where is it? There's like a lot of options here. Role make. Wait, I will just look for custom. Then I find it here. No, not in the whole server. Control F, custom. Like there is an option. Okay, let me check. It's on the right tab. I can see that you can't see it though. They had this option. Yeah, role toolbox in custom games. So it's the garlic one. Where's the garlic? The garlic one here. I don't know if you can read this. Probably a bit hard. I cannot zoom in, sadly. Okay, basically it says. Hello, Milan, welcome back. This option here, the garlic, says role toolbox for custom games. Be able to build a role from scratch based on traits on existing roles. Add dog skills. Add bullet. Decide how often to use each. That's really cool. That's like literally. People are really hyped about fan-made roles, right? Like people want to see fan-made role contests all the time. And then this is the tool for that, you know? Okay, it's custom games only, so most people won't get to use this that often. But if you have a fan-made role and you want to actually test this, okay, if you have like a completely new mechanic that's not in the game yet, it's not gonna work. But if you've like, most roles are not like that. They have like combinations of certain gimmicks for different teams. And then you could literally test it with this ability. And how many votes did it get? The garlic one. I definitely voted up. 54! That's like, if you compare that to all the other options here, that's nothing. Like, what is the most popular one? Sitting it right now. Also, down there was an interesting vote as well. Like this one, the snake is 170, so that's already like 3 times more. But that's not the most popular one, if I'm correct. Or maybe it is the most popular one, actually. Yeah, it's the most popular one. The snake was the most popular one. 170, 3 times more. Okay, it did get some votes. And there's definitely things that got like less votes, like the coconut here. But this is like crazy. This is like this is the best thing they could probably add to the game right now. Apart from like fixing some stuff. But if they add this to the game, the fan-made role community is gonna be happy, because that is like, you can like practice, you can actually test your ideas in the game finally. And of course it's gonna be hard for most people to fill the games and actually properly test it, but at least you can send it to me, you can suggest it to people who have Custom Games Premium, and then they can test it for you, and you can join it, and you can actually see it in action. So this is like, I don't know, I thought like this is like the one thing that a lot of people would like to see, but apparently no. Apparently people don't vote for it. See you later, Fain Tolly, by the way, and good luck with the electricity then. If it was accessible for everyone and you could add every ability from the roles you own, more people would vote it. Yeah, probably. But I think still, like, this potentially, like, if you have, I don't know, how many things could you vote for here? 10. Okay, that is like relatively not that many. But there's also like very stupid, easy things that they couldn't just, they should not even have put this in the voting. Like, I don't know. When using a perk exchange voucher, PEV offer 3 new perk options. For example, the pumpkin. Like, everyone is gonna agree with that. It's not like, it's gonna be, that is a big deal too. Not as big of a deal probably as a custom role builder, but like, nobody is gonna say this is a bad thing. And also the one below that, add the option to keep your current perk when using a PEV. That's like, yeah, why not? Like, that's so, it's also easy for the devs to implement it, I suppose, because it's just like, yeah, you just add a third ability thing, third option. Like, you already have 2 options, so you can just add a third option relatively easily. Like, I don't know how much time that takes, but that's a small thing. Whilst the custom role builder, I'd imagine that's a big project. That, like, could be an update on its own already. And that's why I really think it's so unfortunate these dev votes are really not, they're kind of weird sometimes. We should fix the BH hero bug. I don't know what is the BH hero bug again. So yeah, I think it's really unfortunate. People don't care about a custom role builder, even though it's only for custom games initially. Like, I don't think it's gonna be for any other game either. Like, I'm thinking of how could they implement such a thing and make it more relevant for others. The trip is gone when a hero replaces. Yeah, that's stupid. They should definitely. I would say they have to fix that too, but that sounds like a bug that they just... I don't know, why would they not fix it? Why would that be a hot take either? Like, sometimes you trap a player because of the player, but mostly you trap a player because of the role. I know there was a trapper bug that if werewolf attacks the trapper his trap, no werewolf die. That's like, I don't know. I don't have any memory of that bug, but that's like, basically that would mean a useless trapper, except for protecting, I suppose. Yeah, okay, yeah. Apto, that would be a good one. Yeah, they could make it relevant by just adding one custom role, like, same with the setup thing. Let people make it, then put them in a special, like, testing game mode, or yeah, well, testing game mode, literally sandbox, and make people up and down vote it. And if it gets a lot of upvotes, then the devs could actually consider adding it, like, to the roll card system, or I don't know, to a crazy game mode or something like that. Oh yeah, it's not a hot take. Oh yeah, okay. I don't know if I'm gonna reveal your name to the viewers, honestly. Oh, I don't know. I still don't know why I have this one on, this Discord on. But yeah, it's crazy. Anyways, I think I will end it though, because it's like almost 6. I still need to cook. And I'm used to eating at 6. Or around 630. Let's go back to this one. There you go. I found locksmith description from one of your older streams. By the way, I sent it in DM. Oh, actually, okay. Let me actually show guys what I can show you this. It's good that you found it. Interesting. I will show, and we'll read. Wait. There you go. Let's put this on the stream real quick. This is the final thing we do, by the way. Where is it? There. I don't know. How well can you... At night, select the player to lock in with you. Both of you will be protected until the lock is broken. It doesn't specify this though. If either of you is attacked, the lock will break, leaving you both unprotected. The other player is still able to use abilities during the night. Yeah, so it doesn't specify whether you will... whether it takes a night or not. I assume since it doesn't specify it takes a night, unlike what Beast Hunter probably says, I assume it's gonna work immediately like I suggested, but I don't know. I can't confirm it, nor deny it now. And also, it also doesn't say you cannot like move your or change your protection. So the description, I think the description might also lie, yeah. You could watch me all day. That's kind of scary though, honestly. Yeah, you can definitely immediately set up a lock after it breaks. That's something I know for sure. Yeah, and if you can change your lock, then it's like even stronger. But yeah. In hindsight, I still think like, okay, maybe even if locksmith is like what I think it is, maybe the not top 10 tier is still fair. I would still have it as the highest one in that case. Above Ferryman, but probably still not top 10. From the stream it looks like it's instant. Yeah, it did look like it's instant. But I also don't remember like locking someone and then immediately getting it broken. It might have happened, but I don't know. Anyways, I think I really need to end it now. Thanks you guys for watching. We only have a few viewers now, but it's fine. We've had a lot of fun with the tier list. Next week I will upload a video, and 2 weeks then there will be a stream again, hopefully. And I will probably play some customs at that time again. Alright, thanks for being here and thanks for ranking. What do I want to do? See you later and don't be a traitor. Goodbye.